Have you ever looked in the mirror and quietly wondered, do I still feel like me? Not the grandmother, not the woman doing errands or folding laundry, but me. The woman I used to see in my reflection, the one with spark in her eyes, with a smile just for herself and a little mischief in her hair. If that question has ever whispered through your mind, you are not alone. Because here's the truth. Turning 60 isn't the end of the book. It's a brand new chapter. One that doesn't ask you to hide, but invites you to shine. You see, hair isn't just hair. It's how we greet the world, how we express our mood, our confidence, our story. It can reflect who we've been, and more importantly, who we're becoming. In this series, we're not chasing youth. We're chasing joy. We're chasing comfort, authenticity, grace, and the glow that comes from finally truly feeling like yourself. So today, I invite you on a gentle journey. A journey through 3 haircuts, yes, but also through memories, mindset, and self-care. Haircuts that don't just flatter your face, but soften your day. That don't erase age, but celebrate it. We'll talk about what makes these cuts timeless, why they work with silver, white gold, or chestnut strands, and how, with just a few thoughtful touches, you can look in the mirror and think, there I am, that's me. We'll share real stories from women just like you. We'll offer gentle tips from experts, stylists, and women with grace and wisdom. And more than anything, we'll hold space for you to feel seen, for you to feel beautiful, for you to feel enough. So whether you're here to try something new or just to spend a few minutes honoring the woman you've become, you're in the right place. Make yourself a cup of tea, wrap up in your favorite shawl, and let's begin this together. Because beauty after 60, it's not behind you, it's in you. And starting today, it gets to bloom again. Next, we'll begin with the first haircut, the soft layered bob, the effortless style that frames your glow. Let's begin where softness meets structure, with the haircut that flatters without trying, the one that quietly lifts your features, frames your smile, and brings a gentle sense of grace to every day. The soft layered bob. It's elegant without being stiff, effortless without being plain. And no matter your hair color, silver, blonde, auburn, or brown, this style knows how to catch the light in all the right places. So what makes it special? It's all in the layers. Unlike the blunt bob of younger decades, this version softens. The jawline adds a touch of movement and gives the illusion of fullness without weighing you down. It usually falls around the chin or just below, depending on your face shape. And those light feathered layers, they do more than add bounce. They frame your expression like a gentle spotlight, always in the right place. For women whose hair has begun to thin, this cut is a quiet miracle. It adds body at the crown without the need for teasing, spraying, or complicated styling. Take Margaret, for example. She's 68, newly retired, and finally has time to do something just for herself. Her hair had grown long but heavy. She felt like it pulled her face down, made her look tired. Her stylist suggested a soft bob with hidden layers near the top. When she saw herself afterward, she said only 4 words, "I feel awake again." Since then, it's become her signature look, chic, effortless, and full of life. That's the beauty of this cut. It works with your natural texture. Let it air dry for a relaxed feel, or polish it with a round brush for an easy elegance in under 10 minutes. And if your hair frizzes in humidity, a lightweight leave-in conditioner, or just a touch of argan oil on the ends will keep it smooth and touchable, without weighing it down. If your stylist knows your hair well, they can even add invisible layering near the roots. It won't show as visible cuts, but it'll give you subtle lift where it matters most, right at the crown. This cut also plays well with variation. Tuck one side behind your ear. Add a soft fringe to draw attention to your eyes. Or pin back a section for a relaxed evening look. It adapts to your day and your mood. And it's not just about looking good. It's about feeling right. Because the soft layered bob doesn't say, "Look at me." It says, "I still glow." And sometimes that whisper is all you need. Maintenance simple. Trim every 6 to 8 weeks to keep the shape fresh and ends healthy. You don't need heat tools, heavy products, or hours in front of the mirror. Just your hands, a brush, and a quiet moment of self-care. So if you're ready for a haircut that feels like a gentle uplift inside and out, the soft layered bob is waiting for you. Next, we'll step into something a little bolder, a style that says, "I know who I am," with just one glance. Let's talk about the modern Pixie. Let's take a deep breath and step into something bold, something lighter, something that doesn't just change your look, but reminds you how powerful you've always been. Let's talk about the modern Pixie cut. Now I know what you might be thinking. Isn't that too edgy for someone my age? Or won't it make my face look harsh? The truth is, this isn't the Pixie of the past. Not the boyish, spiky version from the 90s. Not the severe crop that hides your softness. Today's Pixie is something else entirely. It's graceful, it's feminine, and it's full of possibility. The modern Pixie is sculpted to fit you. Your bone structure, your hair texture, your energy. It draws attention to your eyes. It defines your cheekbones. And most of all, it frees your face to glow. Think of it as a gentle frame, not a mask, not a cover, but a celebration of you. Linda, age 63, told me a story I'll never forget. She had worn her hair long for decades. It was beautiful, yes, but heavy, hard to manage, and somehow it didn't feel like her anymore. One morning, she said, "I want to feel the wind on my neck again." So she booked the appointment. She told her stylist, "Cut it. All the way. Make it light." And when she walked out of that salon, she said something remarkable. "I didn't feel brave. I felt free." That's what the Pixie can do. It doesn't erase your years. It honors them. It says, "I've lived. I've grown. I've arrived." Technically, the modern Pixie is all about soft layering. The top is kept a little longer to create texture and lift. The sides gently taper toward the ears, hugging the face rather than boxing it in. This creates balance, structured but soft, confident but kind. And if your hair is fine or thinning, even better. With just a bit of layering at the crown, you can create the illusion of fullness without teasing sprays or tricks. Styling takes minutes, not hours. Run a bit of mousse through damp hair. Let it air dry for a breezy look, or smooth it down for something more classic. Feeling playful? Clip one side back with a jeweled pin, add a soft fringe, or tousle the top for a casual afternoon in the sun. What makes the Pixie especially lovely? It's incredibly comfortable. In warmer months, or if you're navigating hot flashes, it's a breath of fresh air. No more hair on your neck. No more tangles in the wind. Just ease and expression. Color also shines in a Pixie. Silver sparkles like silk. Blonde feels radiant. Deep brown or chestnut, it brings out your features like a well-chosen piece of jewelry. But here's one important tip. Find a stylist who understands short hair. Someone who sees your face not just as a shape, but as a story. Bring a photo, explain your lifestyle, and don't be afraid to ask for softness. Not stiffness, not severity, softness. Because at this stage in life, you don't need a haircut that hides. You need one that says, "I've still got spark." The modern Pixie doesn't just change how you look, it changes how you feel. It's not about looking younger, it's about feeling lighter, freer, and completely yourself. So, if your soul is whispering, let's do something different, listen, because sometimes a little less hair makes room for a lot more you. Up next, we explore the long bob, a style that blends grace, length, and freedom, all in one beautiful movement. Let's meet the lob. Now let's turn to a style that doesn't make a fuss. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand. It simply speaks, softly, confidently, with elegance in every strand. Let me introduce you to the long bob, or as stylists affectionately call it, the lob. The lob is that perfect in-between, long enough to feel feminine and flowing, but short enough to stay light, modern, and manageable. It rests gently just above the shoulders, sometimes brushing the collarbone, sometimes just grazing the neck. Always graceful, always grounded. What makes the lob so timeless isn't just the shape, it's the movement. Unlike heavy blunt cuts, the lob has life. A gentle curve at the ends, a soft wave through the body, a natural bend that moves when you move. It lifts your face, it opens your features, and it says, "I know who I am, and I don't have to prove it." Elaine, who just turned 70, told me her story. She had always worn her hair long, even when it became harder to manage. She didn't want to chop it all off, as she put it, but it no longer felt fresh. She wanted something that felt lighter, but not short, feminine, without being fussy. The lob was the answer. After her cut, her face lit up. "It moves with me," she said. "I can wear it up when I garden, down when I go out. It's like it adapts to every part of my life." That's the beauty of the lob. It's endlessly versatile. You can part it in the center for balance, sweep it to one side for volume and shape, or add a gentle fringe to soften the forehead. Not to hide lines, but to harmonize them. It works for every hair type. For straight hair, it adds dimension. For wavy hair, it enhances natural texture. For curls, it gives form without stiffness. And for aging hair, hair that's thinner, finer, or more fragile, the lob is a blessing. Why? Because it doesn't pull. It doesn't require tight ponytails. It doesn't stress the roots. It gives your hair room to breathe, while still looking full polished and intentional. Maintenance is refreshingly simple. Wash 2 to 3 times a week with a hydrating shampoo. Use a light conditioner, mainly on the ends. Let it air dry halfway, then shape it with a round brush or wide barrel curler if you like. No need for heat every day. No need for heavy sprays. Just a little care and a little love. And here's something you might not have tried: switch to a silk or satin pillowcase. It's kinder to your hair while you sleep. Less friction, less breakage, less frizz, small details, big difference. Color-wise, the lob pairs beautifully with any shade. Silver and white shimmer like moonlight. Blonde tones look sun-kissed. Warm brunettes feel rich and grounded. And if you like a little dimension, ask your stylist for soft highlights or lowlights. Nothing dramatic, just enough to add depth and glow. The lob doesn't try too hard. It doesn't need to. It simply complements who you already are. And that's what makes it so powerful. You don't have to cut it short. You don't have to keep it long. The lob gives you the best of both worlds. And it gives you permission to feel graceful, present, and enough. So if you're standing at that in-between place, wanting change but not ready for something drastic, this might be your perfect fit. A haircut that moves with you, that evolves with your life, that says, this is where I am, and I like it here. Next, we'll talk about something just as important as the cut: how to care for your hair after 60, gently, intentionally, and with love. Because a great style begins with healthy hair. Let's take a deeper look at how to keep it that way. Let's talk about something deeper than haircuts, something beneath the layers, beneath the styling, beneath the mirror. Let's talk about care, because a flattering cut may lift your features, but healthy hair, that's what lifts your spirit. After 60, your hair doesn't behave the way it used to. It changes, softens, thins, slows. Sometimes it loses volume. Sometimes it loses moisture. And often, it simply feels like it's not yours anymore. But here's the truth: it's still yours. It's just asking for something different now. A new kind of attention. A new kind of tenderness. So let's explore how to give your hair exactly what it needs, gently, lovingly, and wisely. Daily habits that make a difference. Let's begin with the simple daily things. Start each morning by brushing gently. Use a wide tooth comb or a paddle brush with soft bristles. This stimulates your scalp, distributes natural oils, and reduces breakage. Don't rush. Treat it like a ritual, not a task. If your hair looks dry when you wake up, mist it lightly with water. Then smooth a drop or two of lightweight oil like argan rosehip or jojoba onto the ends. Just enough to bring back softness and shine. And if you'll be outside that day, consider protecting your hair from sun damage. UV rays dry out hair over time, especially gray or color-treated strands. A sun hat helps. So does a leave-in conditioner with SPF. Washing and conditioning. How often is enough? You don't need to shampoo every day. In fact, you probably shouldn't. 2 to 3 times per week is enough for most women after 60. Your scalp naturally produces less oil as you age. Overwashing strips away what little moisture you still have. Use a gentle sulfate-free shampoo. Look for ingredients like aloe vera, coconut milk, oat protein, or biotin. Avoid artificial fragrance alcohols and heavy silicones. When washing, focus on your scalp. That's where oil and buildup live. Let the lather rinse through the rest of your hair naturally. Follow with a hydrating conditioner. Apply it from mid-length to ends. Avoid the roots that can lead to flatness and heaviness. Need extra softness. Try leaving the conditioner in for 5 minutes before rinsing. Or use a leave-in cream for daily detangling. Weekly rituals, the deep nourishment. Once a week, your hair deserves something special. Use a deep conditioning mask. Choose one with shea butter, keratin, amino acids, or plant oils. Apply generously, focus on the ends, and wrap your hair in a warm towel. Let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes, then rinse thoroughly. If your scalp feels dry or tight, do a gentle exfoliation. Use a soft bristle scalp brush or a sugar-based scrub. This removes buildup and stimulates circulation, which supports healthier, stronger growth. Scalp massage is your new best friend. Just 2 to 3 minutes each day with your fingertips or a silicone massager can help awaken dormant follicles and improve thickness over time. Hair types and their unique needs. Every woman's hair story is different, and understanding your texture is key to taking care of it well. If your hair is fine and straight, avoid heavy products. Use lightweight conditioners and foams. Add volume with mousse or root lifting spray. Blow dry upside down if you need lift. Avoid heavy oils or thick creams. They'll weigh you down. If your hair is coarse or dry, focus on moisture. Use creamy, nourishing masks weekly. Try co-washing cleansing with conditioner instead of shampoo. Embrace your natural texture instead of fighting it with heat tools. If your hair is curly or wavy, define your pattern with curl creams and leave-ins. Don't brush when dry detangle in the shower with fingers or a wide tooth comb. Use the plopping method or a microfiber towel to reduce frizz. Let it air dry as often as you can. If your hair is thinning, be gentle. Avoid tight styles like ponytails or clips that pull on roots. Sleep on a silk or satin pillowcase. Look into volumizing shampoos and scalp serums with ingredients like caffeine or rosemary. Hair through the seasons. Just like our skin, our hair reacts to the weather. In winter, air is dry. Use richer masks. Avoid frequent hot tools. Wear hats lined with silk or satin cotton can cause breakage. In summer, sun, chlorine, and salt water are drying. Rinse your hair after swimming. Use UV protecting sprays. Let hair dry naturally when possible. In spring and fall, hair may shed more. This is natural. Focus on gentle care, deep nutrition, and hydrating products. Common mistakes to avoid. Let's address a few habits that might be sabotaging your efforts without you even realizing it. Mistake 1. Using heat tools without protection. Always use a thermal spray before blow drying, curling, or flat ironing. Mistake 2. Brushing too roughly, especially when wet hair is most fragile then. Always detangle gently, starting from the ends and working upward. Mistake 3. Tight hairstyles. They create tension at the roots and may lead to breakage or hair loss over time. Mistake 4. Over-processing color. Try spacing out salon visits. Use gloss treatments to refresh shine in between. Go for low-maintenance shades that blend well with natural regrowth. Mistake 5. Ignoring your diet. Hair needs nourishment from within. Eat plenty of leafy greens, proteins like eggs and salmon, and healthy fats like avocado and walnuts. Stay hydrated. Supplements like biotin, omega-3s, and collagen may help, but always check with your doctor. Products. We love and why not? All products are created equal. And no, you don't need a shelf full of bottles. Just a few good ones. For shampoo, try Neoxin Cleanser for thinning hair if you want support at the root. Or OGX Coconut Milk, shampoo for softness and shine. For conditioner, we love Aveeno Almond Oil Blend for moisture without weight. L'Oreal Everpure. Moisture conditioner is great for color-treated hair. For leave-in hydration, it's a 10 Miracle leave-in product is a favorite for detangling and smoothing. Shea Moisture Sugarcane. Extract leave-in is another gentle, nourishing option. For oils, Moroccan Oil Light works well for fine hair. Verb Ghost Oil adds shine without residue. Don't feel pressured to try everything. Start small. Choose products that feel good, that smell clean, that make your hair softer, not complicated. Because hair care after 60 doesn't have to be a burden. It can be a quiet gift you give yourself. A daily pause, a slow exhale, a moment that says, I matter, I'm worth the effort. And your hair, it will thank you with softness, with shine, and with strength. Up next, we'll talk color. Whether you've embraced your silver or love a little chestnut warmth, we'll explore how to color with confidence and care. Stay with me. You're glowing already. Let's talk about color. Not because you need to cover anything up, but because sometimes a little color is joy. It's mood, it's expression, it's a gentle form of self-celebration. After 60, the way we see color and wear color changes. But that doesn't mean it fades. It just evolves. Whether you've embraced your silver, are blending into gray gradually, or still love the richness of brunette or the warmth of golden tones, there's no right or wrong way to wear your hair. There is only your way. Let's start with something empowering. You don't have to color your hair to look vibrant, but you also don't have to go gray just because someone says you should. The most radiant hair color is the one that makes you feel most like yourself. Embracing the silver, many women are choosing to go natural, letting their silver strands come forward with pride. But let's be honest, it's not always easy. There's often a transition period where the gray grows in unevenly. There's social pressure, real or imagined. And there's the emotional shift, learning to see yourself differently. But once you arrive, there's a kind of freedom. Silver hair has a softness that catches the light. It frames the face gently. And with the right cut and care, it doesn't age you, it elevates you. Just look at Patricia. She's 72. After coloring her hair chestnut brown for over 30 years, she finally said, "I want to stop hiding who I am." She didn't cut it all off. She didn't rush. She worked with her stylist to blend the gray, slowly adding ash lowlights to soften the line of demarcation. It took 8 months. And one day she looked in the mirror and whispered, "This is the truest version of me." Tips for going silver gracefully. Work with a stylist who understands gray transitions. Use a purple shampoo once a week to avoid yellow tones. Add glosses for shine and tone control. Keep your haircut structured. Shape enhances silver beautifully. Wear colors near your face, scarves, blouses, makeup that complement cool or neutral tones. Keeping color vibrant if you still love it. Maybe you're not ready to go gray, or maybe you never will. That's wonderful too. Color is a canvas, and it still belongs to you. Many women in their 60s, 70s, even 80s look absolutely stunning in soft golds, deep chestnuts, or auburns. The key isn't just the color itself, but how you wear it. Rule of thumb: keep it soft. As our skin tone and undertones shift with age, harsh colors can overpower. Gentler hues like honey blonde, mushroom brown, warm cinnamon, or dusty rose enhance rather than compete. Highlights and lowlights are beautiful tools here. Instead of full coverage, consider balayage for dimension, face framing highlights for brightness, root shadowing to blend gray subtly, glosses to add shine without commitment. Remember, less is often more. The goal is not to freeze time, it's to glow through it. Caring for colored hair. Colored hair, especially after 60, needs extra love. Why? Because hair becomes more porous with age, which means color fades faster, and hair dries out more easily. A few rituals can go a long way. Use color-safe sulfate-free shampoo and conditioner, always. Limit heat styling. When you must use thermal protectant spray. Try to wash hair in cooler water. Hot water fades color faster. Add a weekly gloss or color-refreshing treatment at home. Don't shampoo right after coloring. Wait 48 hours if possible. One tip that's often overlooked: use a water filter on your shower. Hard water and chlorine can strip color and leave mineral residue. Also, keep your strands nourished. Add a drop of camellia or apricot oil to your conditioner. Once a month, try a bond-building mask like Olaplex or K18 to strengthen color-treated hair. Consider a silk pillowcase. It reduces color rub-off and friction while you sleep. Choosing a shade that loves you back. If you're choosing to color, let your stylist help match your tone to your current skin and eye color. Here's a quick guide. If your undertones are cool pink-blue, try ash blonde platinum, cool brown, or silvery beige. If your undertones are warm, peach golden, try caramel honey, warm brunette, or coppery reds. If you're neutral, you're lucky. You can play in both directions. What matters most isn't the chart. It's how you feel when you wear it. Does your reflection make you smile? Does your hair feel like a conversation with who you've become? That's what counts. Coloring at home versus in the salon. If you're doing color at home, simplify. Choose demi-permanent formulas. Their gentler fade gradually and don't damage the hair shaft as much. Avoid box dyes with ammonia or harsh developers. Want gray blending, not full coverage. There are now gray blending kits on the market made exactly for your stage of life. If you go to the salon, communicate. Show your stylist pictures. Talk about maintenance. Let them know your comfort zone and your willingness to experiment. Don't feel pressure to go bold, but don't hold back if you want to. Color is about joy, not rules. A few products we love: purple shampoo, Fanola, no yellow matrix. So Silver L'Oreal, Everpure, brass toning. Purple shampoo, color safe shampoo and conditioner, Pureology, hydrate, Redken color. Extend Olaplex. No, 4 and 5 for colored and damaged hair. Color Gloss at Home, John Frieda. Color Refreshing Gloss, Kristen S. Signature Gloss. Madison Reed. Color Reviving Gloss. Leave-In Protectants, it's a 10 Miracle Leave-In for Blondes. Color Wow Dream Coat, Aveda. Color Conserve Leave-In Treatment. But again, products are tools, not the source of beauty. That part comes from you. The confidence of color. So, whether you let the silver shine or add a hint of honey, do it because it brings you joy. Do it because it reflects your mood, your moment, your truth. You don't owe anyone consistency or explanation. You are allowed to change your mind, your tone, your hair, as often as you like. And the color that makes you glow, that's your color. Next, we'll take a pause to listen to the voices of women just like you. Stories of confidence, of rediscovery, of bold, beautiful transformation. Let's meet them together. There's something powerful about hearing it from someone who's walked the same path, about sitting across from a friend or a stranger and realizing her story could be your story too. In this chapter, we open the floor to the real women behind the mirror, the mothers, the artists, the travelers, the quiet heroes, the women who decided that beauty doesn't have an expiration date, and that the second act of life deserves as much color, joy, and reinvention as the first. We also hear from expert stylists, trichologists, and hair wellness coaches who help decode the science of aging hair and reveal the most helpful tips for lasting confidence and style. Let's listen in. Let's begin with someone you've probably never met, but may instantly recognize in spirit. Her name is Eleanor. She's 74, a retired teacher from Oregon. She once described herself as invisible until she got a cut that showed her reflection back to herself. I didn't recognize the woman in the mirror, she said. For years, I let my hair fall heavy and shapeless. I didn't want to be seen. Then my granddaughter, bless her, booked me a haircut for my birthday. A soft feathered pixie. I walked out of the salon and felt like I had a spine again. Her voice trembled when she added, "My hair didn't just change my face, it changed the way I stood." Across the country in Georgia, there's Rosa. She's 65. She'd gone gray during the pandemic, not by choice, just circumstance. But when salons reopened, something unexpected happened. I thought I'd rush to color it again, she said. But when I saw those silver streaks in the sunlight, I hesitated. I looked wise. I looked strong. I looked like me. So I went to a stylist, asked her to shape it into a sleek silver lob, and I've never felt more elegant. Then there's Dana, a former executive, 71. She wears bold red glasses, leopard print scarves, and a textured bob with soft bangs. My hair is part of my armor, she says. People think aging means shrinking. I say it means expanding. I wear what I want. I cut my hair short and sassy. I laugh louder than ever. If that makes me too much for someone, well then I'm not enough for them. Now let's hear from those behind the chair. The stylists, the specialists, the professionals who work with mature hair every single day. Meet the experts. Nina Duval is a master stylist from Montreal with over 30 years of experience cutting hair for women over 50. When women walk into my studio after 60, she says they often start with an apology. They say, "My hair is thinning. It's not what it used to be." And I always tell them, "Good. You're not who you used to be either. You're more." Nina specializes in lived-in texture and low-maintenance shaping. She recommends face framing layers, soft volume at the crown, and keeping cuts that move with the natural direction of hair growth. What you want is movement, she explains, not weight, not effort. Hair should feel like it belongs to your moment in life. And about color, I don't pressure anyone to go gray, she says. But when a client wants to transition, we do it with care blending, with tones like mushroom ash or pearl. You'd be amazed how chic gray becomes when it's intentional. Dr. Talia Singh is a board-certified trichologist and wellness educator who works with women experiencing age-related hair changes. She explains, hair reflects health. If you're dealing with dryness, brittleness, or sudden shedding, check your stress levels, your diet, and your hydration first. Her top tips: eat foods rich in silica, zinc, and biotin oats, lentils, seeds, and eggs. Prioritize omega-3s, flax walnuts, and fatty fish. Stay hydrated. Dehydration is a hidden cause of thinning. Sleep. Hormonal repair happens overnight. But her most powerful reminder: don't expect your hair to behave like it did at 30. Let it evolve. Partner with it. And celebrate the softness, the silver, the shine that comes with time. Community wisdom. We also reached out to women in our audience, and here's what they shared. Monique, 66. I used to think bangs were for younger women. Now I wear wispy side bangs that hide my forehead lines and bring focus to my eyes. I've never had more compliments. Carolyn, 73. Dry shampoo changed my life. I use it in between washes, fluff with my fingers, and go. I look awake even when I'm not. Jin, 64. I stopped chasing volume and started embracing texture. My curls are wild silver and mine. I define them with a cream and go. No more straightening, no more stress. Francesca, 70. I clip my silver bob with a jeweled pin on one side. Just a touch of sparkle. It makes me feel festive, even on a Tuesday. Tess, 75. I had chemo 3 years ago. When my hair grew back, it was different. Softer, finer. But I chose to love it. I wear it short, sleek, and proud. It's part of my story now. Lessons from these voices. What can we take from all these stories? That transformation isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters. That beauty over 60 is not a trend. It's a legacy. A quiet revolution happening every time a woman chooses herself again. A haircut can be a beginning. A new color can be a celebration. A simple daily care routine can be an act of devotion. So the next time you sit in your stylist's chair or stand in your bathroom mirror, ask not what you should do with your hair, but what feels like home. Because that's the voice that matters most. yours. So here we are. We've talked about bobs and pixies, about lobs and silver strands. We've explored hair care routines, color choices, and the quiet power of self-expression. We've heard from stylists and from women just like you, women who have lived, laughed, grieved, and grown into themselves. And if you take away just one thing from this entire journey, let it be this: you still glow. Your glow didn't disappear with the passing years. It didn't fade when your hair thinned or changed color. It didn't vanish when the world tried to label you invisible. It was never gone. It was simply waiting for permission, for attention, for care, for you. You don't need to be 25 again. You don't need to fit anyone's definition of beautiful. Because beauty, true beauty, is never about age. It's about alignment. It's about that moment when the woman in the mirror finally feels like the woman within. That is the glow we celebrate. And yes, sometimes it begins with something as simple as a haircut, or a morning where you take an extra moment to massage your scalp, a silver strand that you no longer hide, a scarf you wear just because it makes you feel luminous. So here's what I'd love you to do next. Take one small step today just for you. Book that haircut. Try that new part. Let your hair dry naturally and admire the texture. Or just run your fingers through it and say, "This is mine." And it is enough. And then share it. Not because you need validation, but because your courage might just be the spark another woman needs. Leave a comment below. Tell us which hairstyle you've tried or plan to try. Tell us how you've redefined beauty in your own life. Tell us what's helped you feel radiant again. And if this video gave you a moment of joy, pass it on. Send it to a sister, a friend, a mother, or someone who needs a reminder that her glow is still there waiting. And don't forget to subscribe. This isn't the end. This is only chapter 1. We'll be back soon with more stories, more expert advice, and more reminders that this season of life, it's not a decline, it's a renaissance. Coming up, we'll explore style from mature wardrobes, natural makeup that enhances, not hides, and voices from women redefining aging with boldness and grace. You are part of that movement now. So thank you. Thank you for letting me speak with you. Thank you for making time for yourself today. And thank you for being exactly who you are. Until next time, be kind to yourself. Take care of your glow and let your beauty shine.